We're back in North America again, eh? Welcome back to Cliffieland. This is weekend country number 31 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every country in the world, and tonight we're up to the nation of Canada. Canada, the second largest country in the world, also happens to be the largest country that shares land borders with only one other country. A huge nation with a vast cuisine across many different provinces, and it's really impossible to try to cover it all in one night. Yet we tried this time and we tried last time. So that said, let's see how things turned out 4 years ago when we tried this the first time. Well then, I made a series of mistakes, mostly in over-reducing the gravy, serving cold curds, which made the hot fries soggy, and serving pretty much too much of the really great soup. So we're gonna fix that this time. Therefore, tonight we are gonna be making the same 3 dishes, one with a slightly different recipe. We are making arguably the national dish of Canada, or one of them, poutine, or gravy-covered fries with cheese curds, maple baked beans, for the Quebecois out there, and a Canadian cheddar cheese soup. So let's take a look at tonight's ingredients. First, our maple baked beans. We have 8 ounces of dried navy beans soaked overnight, 4 ounces of salt pork, 1 small onion finely chopped, 3/4 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, 1/3 cup of maple syrup, 3/4 of a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and 3 cups of water. Then, for our cheddar cheese soup, we'll need 8 ounces of smoked bacon, medium dice, 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted, 1 medium red onion, medium dice, 3 ribs of celery, medium dice, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 3 cups of chicken stock, 3 cups of whole milk, 12 ounces of white cheddar, Canadian black diamond, shredded, 3 dashes of hot sauce, 3 dashes of Worcestershire sauce, 4 ounces of Canadian ale, warm, salt and pepper to taste, 1 tablespoon of chives, finely sliced, and 2 tablespoons of smoked bacon, rendered crisp, fat removed. We've prepped this ahead of time. Finally, for our poutine, or French fries with gravy and cheese curds, we'll need 4 pounds of russet potatoes, skin on, washed and dried, then cut into lengths of about 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 4 inches, placed in a large bowl covered with cold water and refrigerated for about 2 hours prior to the start of cooking. And 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1/4 cup of flour, 1 shallot minced, 1 clove of garlic minced, 4 cups of beef stock, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of whole green peppercorns, 1/2 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, salt to taste, oil for frying, and 2 cups of cheese curds. So let's see how it went. Go! In a Dutch oven or large pot, place the drained navy beans, salt pork, diced onion, salt, pepper, maple syrup, Dijon mustard, and water. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Bring the pot to a boil, cover and bake for 1.5 hours. Remove the lid from the Dutch oven or pot and bake uncovered for another hour. In a saucepan, place milk and chicken stock and slowly bring it to a low simmer and keep warm. Then, in a heavy pot, place the bacon and cook over medium heat until halfway cooked. Then add the butter, red onion, and celery. Cook until the onions are softened and the bacon is crispy. Stir in the flour for the roux. Stir for about 7 minutes. Whisk in the milk stock liquid. Stir constantly to avoid lumps. Bring to a gentle simmer and let simmer for 15 minutes. Remove from the heat, then whisk in the cheese until completely incorporated. Add 3 dashes of hot sauce, 3 dashes of Worcestershire sauce, and warm ale. Season with salt and pepper to taste, and keep warm until dinner. Heat the oil in a deep fryer to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Remove the potatoes from the fridge and dry the potatoes with paper towels. Working in small batches, fry the potatoes for about 4 minutes per batch. Drain on paper towels and let chill in the fridge for at least 20 minutes. Raise the temperature of the oil in the deep fryer to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Meanwhile, get to work on the gravy. In a saucepan over medium heat, melt the butter. Add flour and stir until smooth, about 2 minutes. Add the diced shallot and diced garlic and cook until soft, about 2 minutes. Then add beef stock, ketchup, cider vinegar, green peppercorns, Worcestershire sauce, and salt and pepper. Bring to a boil until thickened, about 6 minutes. Then keep warm until dinner. Remove the fries from the fridge and fry those in small batches at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 2 minutes per batch. Scoop the soup into small bowls, dress with bacon bits and sliced chives. Ladle the beans into bowls, place the fries in bowls. Pour gravy over the fries, cover with cheese curds, and serve hot. And how did it all turn out? It was definitely a very heavy night in terms of dishes. Lots of butter, dairy, and bacon fat. Thankfully, we kept the portions small and have lots of leftovers. The cheddar cheese soup was, as last time, spectacular, out of this world, one of the greatest things ever, only very, very rich, and best served in small portions. The Canadian cheddar cheese soup was spicy, creamy, meaty, and delicious. I give the Canadian cheddar cheese soup 5 out of 5 globes. Perfect for a really cold night. We don't have a lot of those in Florida. The maple baked beans were 100 times better than they were last time. The beans had the perfect texture, they had that great sweetness from the maple syrup. It was a little monochromatic, but that's a looks issue. So I'm giving the Canadian maple baked beans 4 out of 5 globes. It would have been 5 if it just kind of looked a little different. And finally, the poutine. As you saw with the pommes frites or French fries, it is a lot of work to get it done. And in the execution, I think I kind of failed on a couple of fronts. I should have listened to my better judgment and replaced the oil, and if I had the space, I should have laid the fries out to dry on a single layer of paper towels so they didn't all get soggy sitting on top of each other. That was an execution problem. Yet, they did wind up getting soggy when the gravy went on and the curds. However, it was, again, super great. The curds this time were not cold, which made it go well with the rest of the dish. The gravy had a lot of wonderful flavor, especially from those green peppercorns, and the fries came out really well. Therefore, I'm gonna give the poutine 4 out of 5 globes. It would be 5 if I'd gotten the gravy texture just right and the fries texture just right. Again, an execution problem. Well, that's it for Canada. Looks like we won't be back in North America for a while. Tune in next week when we start a series of 4 African countries in a row when we head to the islands off the west coast of Africa for Cape Verde. Remember, if you have any thoughtful feelings, helpful suggestions about the food of Canada or of any of our future countries, let us know in the comments. If you'd like to see these videos live when they happen every Tuesday night, feel free to follow us on Periscope or Busker. Like and subscribe if you'd like to be advised when these videos are posted every Wednesday night. Until then, see you next week and happy eating!